I'm not actually ready to begin the video. I'm just basically setting up right now. So, can we set up right now? Can we see? We can see a kitty cat, eh? And I'm just thinking of whether I should do a video or not. I may not. No one's here, and then again I might. So I'm not really sure. Right? So that's the ceiling, right? See, that's just should be walking around what's happening on the ceiling, right? What's happening on the ceiling? Okay, so we're gonna just take this off, put the camera up here. Let me adjust the screen a little bit. Let me put this over here. Let me put this over here. Where are you going? How am I supposed to do anything if you're in my way? What do you want to talk about? Doesn't matter what subject you pick, right? How am I supposed to begin anything, right? How am I supposed to begin anything? Magic 8 ball. Why is the 8 magic? It's the black 8 with the black number and the white. What is that all about? Why black and white? Why do we have the 8 ball that is black and white in between everything? Let's get rid of this. Whoops, sorry, little doggy. I mean, cat. You're a cat, right? Okay, sorry about that cat. Sorry about that cat. Sorry about that cat. Deck of cards. It's a regular deck of cards. You want to talk about a deck of cards? You want to talk about the dice? I'd like to know where my Rubik's Cube is right now. I'm a little disturbed that I cannot find my Rubik's Cube. So let me take this, put this up here. So where can my Rubik's Cube be? Did I drop it on the floor? I dropped something on the floor, I can tell you that. And what else here? Nothing there. Paintbrush. Not even sure where to start. First of all, nobody's here. I can start with the deck of cards. I can start with 1776. I'd like to learn a little bit. If somebody would tell me they're understanding what Alpha Omega is, I can most likely expand. I can expand from just about anything. You know, I seem to sound like David Wynn Miller. David Wynn Miller is a gentleman who divided up the alphabet, words, who, what, when, where, and why, verbs, adverbs. When you put certain words with other words, when you end a word in ing, when you end a word in ed. But what if you begin a word with ed or de, like Edward? Has anybody heard of the Edward? Right? Somebody must have heard of the Edward, right? So let me see if I can get a pen out here. I don't want to forget the trend of thought I'm on right now, but I will tell you one thing that's disturbing me a little bit. I'm in the need of, I have enough books. I have another about 35 books, but I'm in the need of books. I like to have my pens. I wish, you see, my fridge door is open. My fridge no longer works. I have to toss it somehow. Right now, I'm seeing if I can defrost it and get to work. I'm really behind. I had a minus year last year, a huge minus year. And I really need to catch up. Maybe somebody wants to see, maybe I can sell Mr. Tackpan's birth certificate, right? See that, Mr. Tackpan's birth certificate? Mr. Tackpan's has its own birth certificate right there, right? Probably shouldn't show that. Deck of cards. What were we talking about? Yes, we were talking about Edward. Give me a second. I had my phone buzz. I want to see what it is because I'm not really sure what I'm starting with. Sometimes it buzzes for no reason. Not me, although. Wow, this is really cool. For some reason, and it's very rare, but my Rumble channel's streaming. Wow, this is really cool. For some reason, and it's very rare, but my Rumble channel's streaming. Wow, I'm happy for that. I'll lower my sound just in case. So, oh God, now something just happened. Hold on a second. Just give me a second here. Just give me a second somehow. Let me go back to this. Wow. It was telling me about my channel. I know I'm a little bit behind. I know it doesn't seem like I'm doing much. I know we're going to get back to Edward, but I'm doing this all by myself. So where did I go for? There you go. Rumble. What's that? There's no notifications, although it says there's a notification. Oh, yeah, here I am. Okay. Okay, now that I got this going, that's good. Okay, so what is Edward? Edward is just a word, but can it mean edit the word? What is DE added onto a word? What is ED added onto a word? Does it mean anything? You see, I could, but I cannot because I can't have a result if I'm only asking myself. I can only be more hypothetical and theoretical than anything else. Look at that. I take my hand here. All right, just let's take a look at this of what's going on. You tell me what's going on. Now look at my hand. Now you take a good look. We're gonna take a good look. Like no trickery. We don't want no trickery. So maybe we're gonna hold on a second. Can we get this higher? We don't want no trickery. All right. How in the world am I able to move my cat's hair? Let's see if we can get it even closer. Watch. Watch. Okay, we're gonna just watch the hair. Let me see if I can get this here. Can you stop moving? I have to show everybody how the hair is moving. Okay, I'm losing myself in this. I'm losing myself in this. Now, they say the word, what is it about everything that's ever been created, right? We're on this planet. Oh my God, we're on this planet. Who are we? They call us humans. Is there anything that they call us? Is there something that humans want to know? Where do we come from? Where do we go when we die? I don't know. I don't have these answers. But what I do have are questions of questions and understanding that if you are going to try to figure something out, then who should we begin with? Should we begin with the belief of someone and why do they believe? Why do they believe? We're going to pray to Allah and pray to Hashem and pray to Jesus. We're going to pray to Muhammad. We're going to pray to Buddha. We're going to just keep praying. Is that what you believe? A prayer will make everything come true? Is a prayer like magic and it'll just come true? Is it like asking for something and you get it? How can we really truthfully answer certain questions to make us believe even deeper? First, let's fill in all the gaps of the puzzle. If you believe in a creator, that's fine. That's great. Are we in any part of that creator? How do we have, according to I'm going to go back to I wish I knew some sayings in the Quran and in the Torah and in the Bible and bring it all together that says, is there somewhere in any of these dictations that says we have a personal relationship to the Lord? Well, how do we have a personal relationship, me and you watching? Is it because of my IPA? Is it because of your IPA? Internet provider, right? IP address, Internet Provider Service, IPS. Internet Provider Address, Internet Provider Service. How about RIP? Rest in peace. And all the other 3 letters are 2 letters, and understanding the complete connection. Hello, Mr. Facebook user. I do not know who you are because all it says salam minami. And that can be, there's only one person that would talk like that, and that's French for my friend. So I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I always get a little nervous when somebody comes on and you know, I just want to take a check at something. Just give me 1 second. Ah, I knew it. Wow. I tried to call you. J'ai essayé d'appeler à soir, mais il n'y avait pas de réponse. Mais c'est pas grave. Okay, so Starlink. Okay. So where am I gonna continue with this? You know, I like to get into a certain realm, a certain point of thinking where it just flows. So we have a rest in peace. We have the word DIE, die. But if we want to bring peace to this planet, how can we all come together? I want to explain this because inside my explanation, you'll understand what I am doing and you'll be able to take this to another level. Is our belief in something. Are we the children of the Creator? If we are the children of the Creator and we wanted to create ourselves, what would we do? If we didn't want to lose our children, wouldn't you want to put a piece of you in every one of your children of creation? I want to put a piece in you, a GPS in every single human. And that GPS, I'm believing it is the spirit. I also believe that the spirit is more of an internet connection in order to relay a message in and out of the soul by breathing, by going into your 2 lungs, in your breath, and out it comes, and the information is like right there, but you don't see it. What do you mean you don't see it? Well, hello, I'm not writing. How are you hearing me? How in the world are you hearing me? How can you hear me? There's something happening between me and you. I'm just going to use this as an example. I've heard over the past 432 hertz. The vibration, it's just a miracle that you can hear me. You can see my hands, but then how are your eyes seeing? You also know that there's another element over here. Look at the ends of my fingers. I want you to watch. Look at these 2 fingers. See these 2 fingers? First, we have to understand the basics of life. If we are the children of the Creator, and I was creating me, I'm a child, I create a piece of me. The egg, the planet, and the egg and the sperm. When the child is born, it's both the mother and the father. No, it's the child. It's the mother and the father that becomes, oh my God, I was big. I'm 40, you're 40, I'm 40. We get together, we make a baby, and oh my God, we're now younger again inside of somebody else. Look at my fingers as I put it towards the light. My fingers are now longer. Look at my hand. Look at that shadow. That's what you feel. So I need to establish a strong feeling that I am the child of the Creator. I live in this fish tank in which you don't see it, right? You don't see it. What do you mean you don't see it? It's right over there. Don't you see it? You see it right there? Look at my hand. Look, wait a second. Look at my hand. Look at my fingers. Don't you see it? So, can you believe what you see? Do you know what you're seeing? If somebody came on here with me and I say, what are we actually seeing? Who knows more about energy, about electric, about plumbing? Who knows about space? That it's not a void. Space is not a void. If you jump out of the airplane, you don't fall right down. You have resistance. And that resistance is what's in the area space. So, in order for what I do, in order for you to believe what I do, you have to believe the basics that we or I, or say me or I. Now, you can say the word also him, which is of the heavens I am born. Into the soul. For me, soul is like a hole. It is a location of one of the wings of the spirit of Alpha Beta. Now, where do I get this? Why am I saying this? The letter L tells me a story. In French, I think of this in French, and the story of the letter L is it is a wing. It is a passage into the soul. Now, I can make anything I want, but can it be the egg of the sperm or the passage into the soul? Or is it the wing? In both situations, okay, okay, there's a reason for 17 to exist. The 17th letter is the Q. The 12th letter is the L. The 12th card is the Queen. The 12 is for the Bat's Mitzvah. When you look at 12 from the cube's generalization, what would you think of if this 12 came out of here? 5 and 7 equals 12. 6 and 6 equals 12. 4 and 8 equals to 12. 9 and 3 equals to 12. So here's all my 12s. Now, where would it come from here, or would we use it as two cubes? Are we talking about 6 and 6, 12? How come I'm not talking about 10 and 2, 12? Or 11 and 1, 12? Every one of these numbers is inside of here. But if you take it to a face of a calculator or your ATM or your telephone, there is no 10. There is no 11. And if there was, it'd be 1 and 1 or 1 and 2 for my 12 or 1 and 3 or 1 and 4 or 1 and 5. And all my numbers are right over here. To note that there's going to be 8 surrounding 1. Also to note that if I wanted to run this as an 11, I cannot run 11 and use the 1. That 1 disappears because there is no 1 and 10 to equal to 11. So I'm going to connect the 2 and 9 to equal to 11. I'm going to connect the 3 and 8 equals to 11. Then I'm going to connect 5 and 6 and 4 and 7 to equal to my 11. So this cube becomes what is 11, 11, 11, 11. 44 and 1 is what makes this up. Your 11 is your base for creation. Your base for creation of what is 2 and 3. Before the Christ, 1 times 1 equals to where we make up the 1. 1 plus 1 to where we make up the 2. 2 plus 1 equals the 3. And we begin over here. Now, when we have 1 and 2 coming together, we're going to go back to 17. And the reason for that is the expression. And we're going to use what is gold, 38, and what is silver, 85, to where gold and silver. And the reason I do this is to get the gold, you come into first. And to get the silver, you come into second. Once we get these two elements together, Earth is 52. Now, what is first and second? How about first and second? And you can say hypothesis. I'm going to use stand. And when I stand on 17. If I'm standing on 17, it's because of my creation of the mirror, A, B, C, D. What is this A, B, C, D? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. The 10th letter is J. Is that one of the reasons that you have J for Jesus and 11, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 for the Christ? Je vais essayer de comprendre. Regarde pour un public plus large, ce que tu expliques est primordial pour la connaissance. I'm going to just give me a minute. I want to go and understand that. I think what you are trying to tell me that what I am talking about is way above people's heads. Well, if somebody wants to stop me, slow me down, ask me a question, I will explain it to the best of my ability, depending on how you believe the ability that I have to explain it. Pour regarder un public à large qui explique primordial pour la connaissance. Okay, I have to look at that. Just give me a second. I think am I on here on Facebook? Yes, I am. I just don't know where I am. Just give me a second. Wow. Okay, here. Donnez-moi une seconde. OK, c'est important que j'explique, mais explique quoi? OK. I'm going to get, je vais retourner au 12. Moi, je vais t'expliquer, mais je ne sais pas c'est quel tu veux que j'explique. Il y a tellement des choses, mais pour l'instant, just for a moment, I want to go back to first, you have to believe that God, the creator, eighth, I want to change the name to not him, not to change the her, but when you say the word him, H-I-M, the short letters together of I and M says I am. So when you say him, heaven, I am. The H is all around the H, the eighth letter. The eighth letter goes all the way around the 1. There are 8 numbers. What I do is I match up elements. I create theories. Then we have to come together to see whether these theories, okay, are just theories and they're improbable, or are my theories highly probable. So I still go back to saying that if you believe we have a huge connection to our creator, then at the same time, if we do have this creator, what would be the question? Okay, why did the Lord create us? Why can we not make anything in God's image. What are the 10 commandments trying to tell us? So we have to understand, before we want to understand the origin of creation, we'd have to understand maybe why was all this created? Is it possible that the good Lord, I like to call him eighth for not saying him or her, for not saying it, for not making it be anything, using the reason for E, okay? E, the female, is the creator of E. Why the female? It's the female because of the numeric value. The B is number 2. Okay, the B is number 2. It's the female. Just one second. The Bat Mitzvah tells me, and I'm running this by the moon. Everything I do in here, I like to think that I'm running this by the moon, by the 13 moons. I also like to use, and if you have another calendar you want me to go by, I'm not going by that right now. I'm going by the Hebrew calendar. We are in the year 5784. 57 expressing what is moon, M-O-O-N. 57 also what is the word birth. But let me go back again. Yes, I am. I am. And when you look at I am, you can also think, okay, of 60. You can also think of 78. I am the gateway. Why? But first, before I answer why, I'm going to answer that why. I'm going to show you. Because 1 a.m. is the morning time. It can also be seen as 60. But what we did is we went through the first 12 hours. And the first 12 hours, or half a day, is 720 plus 60 equals 780. When I add up 1 all the way to 12, it equals to 78. When I take the month of October, it equals to 87. When I use the word 12, sorry, this is 78. When I use the word 12, it's 87. Now, like I said before, 17 is Q. L being the 12th card, being the female for the Bat Mitzvah. The 12th letter, when you add up 1 to 12, it equals to 78. When you have October, you have 78. When you have 12, you have 87, which is 17 equals 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals to 7 equals to 8. We now have 7 and 8 coming together. G and H coming together, creating the 15th letter O. And that 15th letter, or how about 51 for the word Mars? There was another word I wanted to bring into this, but it doesn't matter because 3 by 17 equals to 51. Here we create that gateway. 72 is the house of bait. We have to understand that we go around in a circle of 360 degrees. 3 by 6, 18. 3 plus 6 equals to I-9 equals to 27 or 270, whichever way you want to look at it. It is the house of bait, the B house to the 7th gate. And on this cube, if you look at the number 2, in between here and here, these are the 2 black ones, you will have 7 different numbers. Number 27, the house of bait. So with this 7, we will put a 2. With this 8, we will put a 1. Remember, the female comes back again. So now we're going to look at number 1. When we look at alpha, right? When we look at the 1 spirit, we look at it's in the center. Dans le milieu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's 1 and 8, and it's 2 and 7. It becomes 3 and 15. Or if you want to look at 1, 3, 5, which is the word ace. If you want to look at the 13th letter and the 5th letter, you have M and E. You also have orange, which is red and yellow. This is because if you go play the game of pool, the 13 and the 5 ball will both be orange. Orange is made up between red 27 and yellow 92, 911. So this is just one small basis. Now, if you're looking at 1 a.m., you also want to see 1 p.m. Now, if you're doing this, this is where this would come out, because this is noted to be 1300 hours. Don't forget that number 13. Very important. Like 7 is 13, and we have it right over here. Because as you saw before, when I brought together the 11, the 13 is much easier. We have 3 and 4, 7, 4 and 9, 13. We have 1 and 6, 7, 7 and 6, 13. If you're talking 1, 7, you automatically will, and now you have both 7 and 13. The Mayan calendar. So 1 second, the Mayan calendar, just one, I think I'm missing something here. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, perfect. Runs in a section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See, it finishes with 3 dots and 2 dots and 1 dot. This is hypothetical, but when you have 1 dot, you're either talking about Mercury, Venus, and the first 7 planets. Then you don't have 13 planets. So you're associating planets together to create that number, to create these numbers. So this is 7 and 13. So let's get rid of this right now. And we're going to take this. 1, 6, 7, 4, 9, 13. Now 1, 4, just look at your calculator. This is a skeleton, because instead of going 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 20, etc., 22, 25, 28, 31, 34, 35, 36, 33, 30, 27, 24, 2 and 4 is 6, 21, 18, 1 and 8 is 9. See the point there in 9, the point there in 9. This is connecting the 1s and 6s and 4 and 9 all the way down. If I do 3 and 4 and 6 and 7, I go the other way. I start Xing everything. But as you can see, I'm making pucks. It goes through a single pane window here and a double pane window here. You can see what happens over here in the design, but we're just going to leave this part of the design out. Let me catch up to myself, see what I did not say. I can see that Rumble is connected with me also. No one has said anything. I'm very interested to know. Let me check my Rumble online here. This is a very, very, very slow, very slow. It took me 20 years to get to this point. So okay, good night. Bonne nuit. Q, natural law, I am Q, ro, ma, na, and amour. Okay. Good night. J'ai essayé d'appeler, mais j'ai pas de réponse aujourd'hui. Q in 104 is natural law communication. Rho in 105 is actually supposed to be the hand of God. 35, 35, 35. 3.5 fois 3, 105. Now, somebody told me a long time ago, right, that the hand of God was the number 105. Okay. Now 5 and 1 Levi's jeans, 501 Levi's jeans. Is it 1 and 1? Is it 5 and 5? In between 1 and 5 is 432 hertz. In between 1 and 5 is the same numbers 2, 3, and 4. The Roman numerals are only 1 and 5 when counted Pythagorean way, or Gorian, which is the single digit, adding up everything to the single digit, where we have M 1000, 1 plus zeros equals 1, where we have D 500, 5 plus zeros equals 5, where we have C 100, 1 plus 0 equals 1, where we have L 50, 5 plus 0 equals 5, where we have X 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1, where we have V and X 5 and 10 when they come together, and that's our basis for all creation. After that, into 50, it's 10 times the 5. It's actually 1VX, and that's your basis for everything when it comes to the Roman numerals. 1VX. Actually, it's supposed to be IVX or VIX, if you want to do it that way. The V, then you have reverse letters, which is C, E, and R. So if you're looking at the base Roman numerals, okay, of 1 and 5 and 10, which equals to 16. And by the way, right, if you continue on with the L, the C, the D, and the M, right, you're going to have what is 12 and 3 and 4 and 13. 1 times 2 equals 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 2 equals 5. E created from AB. So maybe we'll ask Abe Lincoln, right? Or Babe, right? And Babe is noted to be a pig. Then in the second one, we'll do 1 times 3 equals 3. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 and 3 is 7. 7 is G. We did it with AC is where we get it. And you know what the thing about 5 and 7 is? The reverse of 5 and 7 is 22 and 20, or maybe 20, 22. And the initials for here are TV. And then we have here, we have 7E, and then we have 5G. So we end up with 5G TV in 2022. 22 is Go Ape. 20 is created from 28 down over to 26, down over to 20. Star system math, multiplication and addition, coming together to create that basis for the star system math. 222 times the creation 8 is 1776. ABC equals to what is, don't forget, we spoke about stand, right? We spoke about stand on 17. Now you can only use 3 of 4. You can never use all 4. It rotates. 3 of 4, 4 of 5, 5 of 6. Even in the just give me a second. Then there's B, C, D. This one equals 9. This one equals 6. But when you have A, B, C, D, it equals to 10. So you have I, you have F, and you have J. Right? So what happens is in one equation, you don't use the A. In the other equation, you don't use the D. After the death, before the Christ. But in this equation, you use BC or CB, and then we get the CB code. Citizen band code. Why do we get the citizen band code? Why do we get the 13 DNA? Because if I hold up my fingers to you and I do this, what am I doing? Remember, we have to go back right to the beginning. Who are we? Where do we come from? If we can't answer these questions, where can we start to simplify things? And I think we can all say, if you follow one of the Bibles, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, we are the children of the Creator. Creator. Everything we say is because we were created to say it, because of the Creator created us. And what we say at free will is from the Creator. And if the Creator didn't want to create anybody or anything, we wouldn't be here. But we are here. So we have to face the music. If I was to create in my own image, I would have to make sure there were guidelines. Because if I had a car as the good Lord and I was driving down the street, I wouldn't want to drive into me. So we'd have to put up some laws with respect to the others. And why would I want to recreate me? Maybe because my memory is low. My GB, my gigabytes. GB is also number 27, created from number 36, which is the letters I and R, which is 18 and 9 or 99. And it just so happens that the word 13 equals to 99. And when you have 13, you can also look at it as being 1/3. Now we have to start understanding letter combinations, T and H. T and H. The first time it began, T and H, but when did T and H show up? Did it show up at first? Did it show up at second? Did it show up at third? Nope. Where did it show up? Runner-up. So the runner-up, we'll put the initials, could be run-up. And where's the runner-up? That's right. Fourth. It might have been Ruth. I don't know, but it was runner-up. Fourth. So now we have, if we take all the initials, we have first, second, third, and then we have fourth. We have A to the right, A to the left, and when 1 and 1 come together, I like to look at it this way. First of all, the center of 1 through 36 is 111. Also to note that when you play the game of 21 called BJ, right? 2B, 1J. When you play this game, right, of 21, the ace is 11. We also stipulated that prior to this, we had the word ACE, ace. Also noted, ace is the orange ball. It is the 5 and the 13 ball. The M and the E comes together. And is ME me? Is it M and E me? Is it Mars and Earth? Or is it matter and energy? At the same time, what about the power in me? Or how about CHR 1, 5, and then T for 77? Or how about I am? This is a French word, je suis, for I am, but I wrote it out this way. The ironic thing about this is the mathematics, okay, equals to what the word is, 11. And if that basic words of IR is 11, that is my 9 birth. And the house that is created is yourself. You are the beta house. You're not alpha, you're beta. And installed in you, you have the spirit to bring with inside your soul the connection with the good Lord. And at the end, you have an IP to begin with, right? But at the end, it's the RIP when you rest in pieces. and you rest 6 feet down. So at the end of life, although you come into life with 2 feet, you end up 6 feet down because you are always 3 coming into this world. The mind, the body, and the soul. You are always 3. You have 10 fingers and 10 toes times 3 times 3. You have 30 and 30. So this is just a small basics, but in order to believe anything at all, we have to understand that the Lord, why did the Creator need us? For more memory? Did the Lord need us for more memory? For more hands? What happened on day 7? Well, we all know what happened on day 6. Animal, DNA, man. Animal, DNA, man. So if someone wants to participate and say to me, why DNA? Why DNA man? Well, because if you look to the 6 days, the 6 days of creation of man, it said animal and man. Did anywhere in the Bible or anywhere? I need to know. You see, the more I know, the easier it will be for me to break things down. DNA, land, L-A-N-D. So L for A-N-D. Hand for A-N-D. Even when they said Neo Anderson, if you read it backwards, it says our one red sun. Neo backwards is 1. The word ne, N-E, is birth. You know, the Sphinx had no nose. What does that have to mean? That the cat was not born? What is the Sphinx? Is it a cat? There was no nose. Now, ne in French means birth. N-E, ending in a sentence, it does not have the S or the Z on it. But we can still configure it within our own minds what it can mean, because not everything is written out. What does it mean to have a broken telephone? And inside a phone, first of all, it's with PH and not with an F, is O-N-E. Born. You remember the O that I mentioned before? Our alphabet of birth into the house of Q. Have you ever thought of this being the egg and the sperm? Have you ever looked at it when you close off this side as it being number 2 into the house of bait? Let me look back to where I was. I lost my trend of thought. Another thing is number 44, very important. 44 is for space and teen. 47 is the word time. Space, time equals to the number 91, which is the spirit. Let me mark this down. "44 and 47. Although you see 91, spirit, which is also like pirate because we've been hacked. You can also look at that as our body, 91. The other answer for this is also 82. Man equals to 28. The cycle of the moon equals to 28. We are born into the IT system of the sun, matter and energy, Mars and Earth, Mercury and Earth. In time, this is the Federation. This is also valued at 999 equals 999, and it also equals to 22. At the same time, it equals to 4. I'm going to explain this to you. M is a Roman numeral. So is I. They're both Roman numerals. This is 1,000 minus 1 equals to 999. This is the 13th letter, and the 9th letter equals to 22. But when I put a smaller value in front of the 1,000, I'm going to go 13 minus the 9 equals to 4. Your 4th is your creation. Your TH. Where's that TH? Where's that TH? Yes, you're fourth. You're Ruth for runner-up in fourth. It's first, second, and third, and then it's fourth. It's gold, silver, and bronze. Gold, silver, and bronze. See the Taurus in between here? You can also see that it's not a singular house, and that in between the house, one of the triangles goes here. The other triangle goes here. One is connecting to the diamonds. 3 connect to the diamonds, while 3 connect inside the house. Now, if there was a complete 9 here, should these be the way they are? These are too equal to be there. Should they be offset? So we can ask that question, right? We only see a club. We don't see the club in the deck of cards with this here and that here. Now, this is what I see in my vision. And we connect the two of them together, the two areas together, and we get the diamonds in between. And where else can I go with this? So we would have 8 here, an 8 here, and an 8 here, making it 888 into the heavens connect. The 7 and 5, the 7 and 5, okay, we figured that out, the male and female. This is the male, and this was the female. To begin with, I'm not saying it doesn't change. So what happens, okay, and this over here, 13 is the bar mitzvah. 12 is the bat mitzvah. When you add up, and we've done this, 1 through 12, it equals to 78. That is your Q gate. It rotates into itself, 1771. When I add up 1 to 13, it equals to 91. So I think we have to go back to the word 13 equals to 99, 28, 27, 44, 55, sky, space. Man, bet. In the house where 13 lies in the division of the house, in the sky pass. The word teen is 44. The word space is 44. The word sky is 55. The word pass is 55. TH, we begin with TH, we begin with runner up, and we come into the house. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 will create birth inside the house. 18, your residency, 6, 6, and 6. When you have 3 cubes coming together, you can have 6, 6, and 6. But when you have 6, 6, 6, remember, your ace 11 will come together over here. And when you play games like the games of sick bow, you're going to have 3 dice. If you play the game of craps, there's going to be rules and regulations, and then there's going to be odds. And what's ironic, okay, and I'm not sure if you saw this at the beginning, and there's just so many different levels of this. I'm trying to do them all I'm trying to share them all, right? Where was I? I don't remember where I was. Anyways, let me skip over from where I was and continue on to where the word house, the word planet, both equal to 68. The cat, the 5, and the 9 equals to 42 and 24 respectively. When you multiply it and add it, it equals to 8 and 6. 8 and 6 is right over here. It doesn't matter how you match the numbers together as long as they match up. Because we're building right now, I'm going backwards. What do I mean by going backwards? When you create, you have to take notes. So when you take notes, how do you take notes? It just so happened now, however, they took notes. However, God took notes. That's fine. But we're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000, 10,000 years into the future. And this is how we take notes. And we're the extension of the Creator. We have to remember that in order to believe anything that I'm doing, we have to have some sort of basis. And we are the extension of the Creator, writing notes everywhere. And in every single game that's ever been played, there's going to be a calculation that's going to come back to something else that's going to be absolutely perfect in the creation of this planet. And one of them is the word house and planet. To where the multiplication is 6 and 8 is 48, and you have the word sun, ring, and pole. You also have the word Pluto, which is 84. 3 times 16 is 48. 3 times 28 equals 84. By the way, this will be purple. The only reason for that is it's already been bestowed inside my head, and it's telling me about Mars. Mars will start off like this. Earth will start off like this. The reason for that is Earth is, and in order to do this, I get a singular line or just a dot. But for Earth, I get the 2 lines, or I get area space. I got the area space, or I get the dot. So this becomes a 2 by 2 area, a go, and this becomes a 3 by 3 area, which you can use the word mass or SAM or the time heavens creation in the E world, the at 33. And before we were speaking about ABC, BCD, ABCD, where it's AD and before the Christ, we're running time backwards after the death, before the Christ. This is 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6 or 60. And this is BCD, which is 9 or 90. And this is the 100% of why the clock runs on 60 seconds. Just to note, what is this? That over here is number 14, and over here is 23. And I'm just going to maybe see if I can show you that over here. Oh boy. Not sure if you can see it, but let me see. Right over here, right this area here, see the Y that comes in here, and the other side is the X? Well, on this side over here, that's number 14. The Y chromosome, perhaps the X chromosome, that would be number 23. This is the roulette board, right? I just did it 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times. So the first 2 times, I create this area in the center. When I create this third one over here, this one comes in the center. So I have 36 between 36 and 36, and that's your 108. The minute I create the fourth one, right, your first 2 become Mars, and then your fourth one becomes Mars. The minute Mars is created, I end up with this space in between on the fourth part of creation. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, if we want to look at it that way, right? And then if you want to start this way and go backwards, right, I end up with Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. So either Earth is here or Earth is here. Mars can be on the outside of both. So it's 2 Marses with Earth living in the center of Mars, if you want to look at it that way. The total of these 4, right, is 144. 12 by 12, 144. These sections, okay, see this is an X, but we run 4 by 3 area in this. Then there's another one here, and there's other designs also. But we're going to see if I can just get back into the... I'm going to get a glass of water. My fridge is not working, so somebody wants to send me over a fridge, that would be just fantastic. It's the second time it broke in 2 weeks, and just give me some. I just have to get a glass of water. One sec. Okay. So let me see where I was. So that's the roulette board. The roulette board, let me just show it to you maybe over here for 2 seconds. If you have any questions, let me see. I'm just going to just keep going down. If you take a look at this, this is pi. Over here, this comes from a design of what I call the Gematria Simple 7. And that would be, here's the different levels that we wear our cap. See the jack on one side, one-eyed jack, and the two-eyed jacks. Here's another thing of Tesla. If you notice over here where my mouse is, it's 369 connected with 258. And here it's 369 connected with 147. And then over here in the top one over here, it's all three of them connected together over here, right? And then there's the 285 with 471, and that would change the direction. There's 3 directions in the connection, always connecting 6 of 9. I think we can see it over here, right? In this one over here, you can see the cube, the house of Mecca. This area, right, is 111. In fact, don't count the top or the bottom. There's 6 numbers over here, and this equals to 111. When you look at this area over here, right, here's your 36 numbers right over here. Your 36 numbers. That's your 36 numbers. I want to see if I have a different board that I can show you. No, I'm not sure if I can. Let me see. Hold on. No. Another thing is, here's the roulette board. Okay, you can look it up yourself. Look up orphan. You can even say orphan. If you look up orphan online, right, you will come up with the same thing. This is all over the world. Now, if you go to the right side, I think it's on your right side, right? So let me get that comment off for a second. No, my cat's over here. She's over here. I turned her on her box so she can stay near me. See, I'm looking at the same thing as you. So when you look at this over here, it's 1776, 51, 57, Mars moon. 40 is blue, if you want to look at it that way. 8 and 7 is 15 and 6. 8, 7, and 6, 21. On this side, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 9, 21. So we have 21, 21 on each side when we add them up. 3 and 3. This one adds up to 57. This adds up to 75. So what's going to happen next? Oh, I didn't want to do that. Hold on a second. I wanted to show you one more piece. Take a look at this. If you can download it, check the Q and the Z on number 1. Missing from the 7, missing from the 9 over here. Missing the Q, the 17th letter, 1 and 7, 8. The Z, the 26th letter, 2 and 6, 8. 17 and 26, 43. 4 is reverse 3 on the cube. Like the cube right over here, or the Trinity right over here. If you look at this over here, Mars is number 51. Means nothing, just a number. 3 by 17. Pluto is number 84. 42 and 42, 84. Pluto is 84. 3 by 28. 53, it's a capstone to both electric moon. I'll explain that in a second. I just hope I don't forget. Here's those 3 numbers. Here's those 3 different ways of connecting 3, 6, and 9. Here's your, I'm just trying to show you that all the artwork that goes into this, Okay, all the artwork. In order to believe something, it's I believe it if I can see it, and if I can see it and I understand it, then I'll believe it, right? And what it is I went up with numbers. I went 1, then I went up over here is 3, then I went up over here is 5, then I went up 7, 5, 3, 1. I skipped every second one, and the reason I skipped is because odds and even are not the same. So I skipped and I did 2, 4, 6, 8, overlap the odds like different levels, right? And when you look at paper, right, when you look at this, if you take a look, the first line I cross right through the area. But if I'm going to make another cross, I got to do this. I have to go 2 areas and 1 area and 2 areas. It's just the obligation. Now, if I make a line like this, right, if I want to make 2 lines, I'm going to either go 2 to the left or 2 to the right, unless I go 1 line and then 3 lines. These are all obligations. I cannot do this unless I did it here. Mars would be here, and Mars would be here, and here, and here. I would do it 4 times inside of here. So we have 4 area spaces and we have 9 area spaces. We have the 9 months of birth on the 4th finger, the 4th planet of Mars to the 9th planet of Pluto. So now we have Mars and Pluto coming together. And that pyramid we saw, 5184, is right over here, which is 1728 equaling to 45 and equaling to 36. Now, where do we get this from? Well, 17 and 28 equals to 45. But 8 and 7 is 15. That are gateway, right? 8 and 7 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 2 and 1 is 3. And to note that this is found here, and this is found here. 1 and 2 will create 7 and 8. It's on the same surface. It's on the same surface. I'm going to show you. Here is the surface. There are 9 areas. One area is like that. And the other area is like that. So inside of here, you have 7. And inside of here, you have 8. 7 and 8. 8 and 1. 7 and 2. And then inside of that, what created it? It's 3 and 6 to what is 4 and 5. 4 and 5, 9. 3 and 6, 9. 7 and 2, 9. 1 and 8, 9. So everything is always going to be, everything I do is always going to be backed up with something. Everything is backed up with something. See, in this design, right, you can see the center 9 over here, right? And then it has its extension. And if you want to know how far I would create that extension, I would probably find a game where I can create that. And the game I can easily find is Monopoly. Monopoly. Right over here. Why do I say that? Well, we saw that. And then we saw that. That would be the train, the area of the train, right? Is the train coming or going? If it's going, perhaps it's on this side. If it's coming, see this area here? It would be here and here or here and here. This side of the track, that side of the track. But always taking up both sides of the track. Does it take more to go faster, going up or coming down? And I'm relating this to your internet speed, the uploads and the downloads. And these areas is where the trains are. And the train is located at number 6. The train is located at 16. The train located at 6, 16, 26, and 36. Let me see if I got this right. Yes. The 40th area is right over here. It is 1st and it is 40th. 1, and 40, equaling to 41. Your 42nd area, or 41st on the roll of the dice, is the Mediterranean, MED, Mars, Earth, matter and energy. It is the last area to accomplish the feat of the board. Number 13, or the moon, right? Number 13 over here, I forget which property it is. It's easier to do when I remember everything. But this one over here and this one over here, right? Very, very different. These two are pain properties. These two could be properties of danger, because if you're here, you're visiting jail. It is the 10th from go, but it is the 11th area. It is not only the 11th area, it is also a 4-area space. It is a cube area. It's not one area of the cube. To note, this is not the right size, but this is the minimum size that can be created. There's one center. There's 6 areas all the way to here, but it's 4 and then 2 and 4 and then 2. What do I mean by 4 and 2? If you count, right, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 areas, then 2. So it's 2, 4, 1, 4, 2. And these are your trains. This is go to jail. GTL. Go to jail. 2739. Is that what it is? GTL? No, I think I got that wrong. 720. It's 37. Go to jail. The J and the G come together. The 7 and the 10th letter and the 20th letter. I can't exactly explain what that is. I know I've jumped over a few things already that I was talking about. Another thing is there's one area center, but the board of Monopoly is 13 by 13 equals to 169. There's 168 hours in the week. Here is the one area. And then there's 168 around them. In each one of these, here, 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 or here, it's going to equal to 42. Here and here, here and here, here and here. So you have 42, 42, 42, 42. The combinations that we have is 42 and 42. That's 84. And 42 and 42, and that's 84. And 42 and 42, and that's 84. And 42 and 42. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 times 84 equals to 336. There are 12 moons, okay? 12 moons pass for 336 days. The next time you do it, you are starting again. You start again on the 13th moon. I calculate everything by movement, by area space. It's never the same. Just to start that, if I go around this area here, or if I go around this area here, or if I go around this area here, I'm having a little trouble seeing. I need a little light. Okay, the first area is going to be 8. It's going to be 1 and 8. And then this area, this is B, C, D, E, and F and G come together. 6 and 7 come together. Earth, 7, Mars, 6. They come together to play. So the next one is 24. This is A, B, C, and this is D. This is where the mirror comes in. Then after that, it's 32, E, and then 40 is F, and then 48 is G. So the last 2 areas, right, the F and the G equals to a total of 88. The rest of the board is 81. 81 is for square Venus. This goes for purple, Trump, window, Pegasus, constellation Andromeda. This is where I think we are. Something to do with this over here. So anyways, this would be your Monopoly board. You would have 1 and 80, and 80 is for bronze. $80 is for bronze. Remember that. 80 is for bronze. It's for third, where alpha, beta come into creation before you create your mirror. You have C and D. You create from bronze and you create the mirror world. The thing about to understand with numbers is 88 equals 4 by 22 equals to 88. I like to divide everything by 3 and by 4. If I divide this by 3, I end up with 3 times 30 minus 2. Or I go 3 times 20. Is it 29? No, that's wrong. 3 times 28. No, 3 times 29. 3 times 29 plus 1. So here we're going to be talking about the B house. Here we're going to be talking about alpha, the spirit, the 1 inside of 8, or the 7 passing through 2. Where do I get these numbers? Again, to speak about, where's my calculator? To speak about numbers, we have 1 cube sitting over here, 1. Around it is 8. Otherwise, we have 2 cubes sitting like this. And then there's 7. It's the same thing for Rubik's Cube. They also run in rotation, as I spoke before, and these are only skeletons. When I say they're skeletons, it means because now you see 3 across from 4, and 1 across from 6, and 2 across from 5. But at the same time that you see that, you have 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. What is this? The area space of 3 tells me I have 3 left over here and 3 left over here. I found 3 and I have 6. Or if you want to look at 4, and also when you want to look at 4, you'll see this. There's 5 in between. So you see 4, you have 5. So now if you have 5, you have 4. And if you have 6, you have 3. So that means if I have If I have 6, then you're only going to have 3 left over. So they're all going to be 9. Now, if you have your 1 and 6, you're going to have 1, 6 equals 8, 3. 2, 5 equals 7, 4. And 3, 4 equals to 6, 5. Equals to 11, equals to 11, equals to 11, equals to 7, equals to 7, equals to 7. Now I'm going to go a step further, and 24, and 28, and 30, equaling to 41, equaling to 39, equaling to 35. The angels are coming. Jesus, energy. I'm going to explain this. I'm going to just get something to drink. What is that? Star system math, multiplication and addition. That's what star system math is. And then you can take it onto other levels. But everything that I do, the equations come from games: baseball, football, hockey, soccer. Rubik's Cube. A dice cube in a single number is also called a die, D-I-E. I and E sometimes is used for example. Catchman, is that Twinkle Kite 427? I had mixed taints, and those were the numbers swirled into it. Just to let you know, I'm not a genius. It It was yeah, 100%. What's not supposed, I can only guess what's not supposed to happen won't happen. What should happen would happen. Do you actually know? Can you change your destiny? I think we can change your destiny. And like I said, I'm out here, and the information that I'm sharing, I'm hoping one day that we can understand who it is who created us, that we can say, God told me to do this. No, God didn't tell you to do nothing. You chose. God gave you free will. Your Father, if you want to call it that way, the way it's being called, Father gave you free will. You will never get punished for choosing, and you'll never get punished for choosing wrongly by mistake. Once you know the difference, it is no longer a mistake. If we are incorrectly connected and if our spirit has been hacked, then how can we know any better than what we know? And if we choose to be ignorant to the fact that there's more to know and that we don't know it all, then that is our choice to be ignorant. And at that point, will we pay for our punishment? Because hell is for as long as you're on this planet, and it's for as long as you can have that Holy Ghost that's what's inside of you, that you're not sure and you're indecisive, or you made the wrong choice because of your ego. Only at that time does hell last forever. Forever and a day is noted for the day you were born, for the day of man, because a day is 24 hours. It is a gateway. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, coming to the planet of 6886, the divided house of DC, and where 3443 DCCD, Earth and Mars, is a divided house. And unless we learn what the Creator actually wants and what we accept and what we're hesitant to understand because we choose to be ignorant, or we choose to believe, even though deep down inside of us, we think it shouldn't be true, it's not possible, then where do we go to seek the truth, and who do we trust? And why did the Creator create this place? Think of it as yourself. You created the game, you created yourself, and you didn't want to interfere with yourself. So you made sure you kept tabs on every one of you. You created one of you, 10 of you, 1 million and 1 billion of yourselves. Cells. You created yourselves. And you don't want to get into an accident, so you drive proper on the highway. You don't want to ruin your body, or you do, you gave it free will. If your body wants to stay into the game where you can drink and do whatever you want, don't take care of yourself. Only you will pay the price, right? Only you pay the price of your illogical thinking, your logitech. So on the 7th day, the Lord lay on the cross and set his children out. The 2 feet coming together is 10, but the hands are 5 and 5 apart. Now, don't forget the 2 thieves on the other side. They could have been upside down. If they were, it was for a reason. I'm not going to get into the mathematics or the numbers of that right now. This video is almost done. So we lay our 10 toes together, our 5 and 5, 10. So we're always starting off with 10. For our body, we are 10. We are the mirror image of the creation. And on the cross, on that 6th day of the DNA of animal combined with man, because that's what they said. On the 6th day, it's AM, animal and man, AAM, if you want to look at it that way, or AA can be, we have been divided. That ace in blackjack is A11, and that ace is the division of 5 and 6, 11, which on a dice cube, once you have 5 and 6, 11, you also have 1 and 2 creation, which is your 7 and 8, your 7 and 8 void, 15, the O Canada, the O say, can you say, to what is Mars, to what is also to the 3 void and the 4 void, 3 and 4, Earth and Mars. We are the students of that 9/11 creation. The letter K is 11. The letter I is 9. It is our birth in the ill house, KILL. But it's not LL, it's 11. 9/11 looks like KILL. The 9 and the 11, or the ninth letter and the 11th, look the same. 1/2. Some of these things have to be in hypothesis. When you create 1/2 or 1/4, if you bring the top together, you would be like this. If you bring the bottom together, you would look like this. You can be looking like L, but when you bring them all together, you would be looking like this. So the question comes, is that possible? So when you also have K11, or how about the K9, you would also be looking at this, to where the I letter and the L letter, the small L and the capital I on your keyboard looks like that. But when I went to school, I was taught it was like this. And when I look at Roman numerals, I know that's number 1. And again, back to everything, it's ABC creation. Let me just see one thing. If it was ABC creation, would I run ABC this way or ABC this way? How would I do that? So if I did it this way, A and B would be 88. So if it's 88, there's 80 plus 1 left over. Venus. If you want to see another place where what 88 does, 8 times 8, 64. 8 plus 8, 16. 1 and 6, 7. 6 and 4, 10. 1 plus 0. Q comes together in the gateway. Bronze. 3 by 17 equals to 51 Mars. 4 by 17 equals 68, the house planet. If we bring 2/3 of this, it'll be 34 CD, Earth and Mars. If we bring, well, we did the 3 of this together, and we also know what, this is also AG, and AG is silver. So we brought together silver, we brought together ND coming together. The DNA came together, 144, 12 by 4. Where do I get this? The 14th letter and the 4th letter. So now if we go ahead and we go 3 by 18 equals to 54, we end up with the sun. By the way, 63 and 15. It's the pen. The pen. When 15 shows up, it's Earth and Mars. When 51 shows up, it says Mars, and it just continues on. This over here is this word over here, this word over here. 3 by 18 and 4 by 18 equals to 72, the house of Bait, the high heaven. 9 times 8 equals to 72. 9 plus 8 equals to 17. Both of the spirit created inside the 7th gate. Hiab. Why do I have Hiab? The reverse, okay, of 8 and 9 when counting in 10. You can be counting, depends where you're coming from. Are you counting in 7? Are you counting in 10? Are you counting in 1 or 10? Are you counting in 4 or 13? Are you counting in 7 or 16? This is our basis. 7 months of 31 days, the months of the moon. 4 cycles of the 20 of the 7 days of 30 days. 4 months of 30 days, and then 1 cycle of 28, and this will last for 3 years. A, B, C. It's always going to be A, B, C, but to understand the difference, this is B, C, D. This equals to 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3. This equals to 9. 2 plus 3 plus 4. 432 hertz. Not 440, 432 hertz. Okay, this is this. Now A, B, C, D, and I'm going to do this 1,000 times, equals to 10. Here's the letter J, finished off with D, finished off with C. This becomes I and F coming together. But here we go, our 60 seconds on the clock. How come our clock doesn't work with 90? Because of Mars, 1.5 equals to what is 90? 3, let me see what it is. Yes, 3 to 2 of 60 equals to 90. 3 parts and 3 parts. It's telling me about the hockey game. 3 parts. 3 parts the way to turn Rubik's Cube. 3 parts for NASA. 3 parts to create a percentage of rotation. 9 and 6. And now we go to the pole. Separation between the two of them, rotating together from the pole. So we end up with 90. Now here we have 60 times 24 equals to 1440. Here we have 90 times 16 equals to 1440. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16 equals to 08 equals to 24. 1 plus 6 equals to 7. We now have the gateway, the divided gateway. 7 and 8, your Q gate. 7 and 6, Earth and Mars. Where do we get that? As I wrote before, Earth is number 7, Mars is number 6, although it's the third and fourth planet, which goes along with Uranus and Saturn in the spirit of 76. It's us. MEUS. I don't know if that goes together. I have to do. I'm just thinking of something. I'm not sure if it goes together or not. So we were talking. Where's that piece I was working on? 3 by 18 happens to be the sun. At the same time, S1, U3, N5, sun. It also spells ACE, and it is the only pieces of this that have a center dot in this cube. 2, 4, 6 are the reverse of this. And when you have 1, 3, 5, you have 8, 6, and 4 that come together. And the sun diameter, or I think that's what it is 864 million X. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. When you multiply it by 3, because everything is ABC, it equals to 25,920, the same as the great year of the Mayans. And by the way, 7920 is the Earth diameter. The numeric value for Earth is 25. So where did I get that? 17 and 27. It's very rare for this to come together. When this comes together, you're at your gateway. It becomes 7 and 8 and 2 and 7. Why? Because the 2 goes with the 7 void in between. Now, I'm not sure where I am in this video. Yeah, I do want to end it. 54 is done. The 19, okay, the 19, okay, is going to equal to 3 by 19 equals to 57, and that is birth. 19, okay, is your 10, and 9 becomes your mirror, equals to 19. 1 and 9, AI comes together, right? But no, it's not. And this is a red, okay, number with 9. It's 19. It's together. 1 and 9 comes together red. Although it's a 10, 10 is black. It comes together, creates a red. It's A, B, C, D because it creates 10. And what you're missing here is E, F, G, H, and I. 5 and 9. 6 and 8. And by the way, 5 and 9. 5 and 9. 9. Right? And what you get is you're going to get 6 and 8. 8. and 6, or perhaps 8 and 6, or perhaps 6 and 8. It's a very special number, Mars and the Queen, the game. 51, 15, and 51 is 66. If you would know what this is, two X's. When you put two X's together, you create an O. This happens to be 666, two X's. The X creates the O, the 24th letter. 2 and 4 is 6. 2 and 4 is 6. It is a gateway. The reverse of 5 and 1 is now going to be 88. Where was that piece I was looking at here? And then in between that, you have the 7. And the invert to all of this, 1 and 6, 7, 2 and 5, 7, and then 3 and 4, 7, in which I spoke earlier that the average for everything is 3.5. 1 plus 2.5, 2 plus 1.5, 3 plus 0.5, 4 minus 0.5. So these two come together. 5 minus 1.5. So these two come together, and this 6 minus 2.5, and then these come together. 625, 125, 215. This one is Earth and Mars. 215. 52 is Earth, 51 is Mars, and that's our creation. Remember what 1 and 2 did. Brought on the 3, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, for our creation of 11. Now we talk about 33 all the time. 3 times 3 equals to 9. 3 plus 3 equals to 6. Your 6 and 9 creates the percentage looking like 8, and then we can start building from it if we like. We saw here we had 6, right? But we lock it with 8. The queen locks it up. And if you notice, before we had 2 towers, and now we have 1 tower built between 2 towers. The old towers were 11, 11, or 110 and 110. Building 7 went down because the cube and the moon is to be changed. So we have to follow the script. Everything is in the flow of energy, or let's say the water, right? And then you can, if you want, we can do this. And then we have this 8 passage, 808 bicycle cards, if you want to look at that. So yes, so the day, we can change the day to 90 minutes, okay, per hour with 60 seconds, I think it is, right? If it was 90 minutes and 90 seconds equals to 8,100, if we multiply it by the 16 hours in a day, equals to 12,960. But if we multiply it by 2 days, right, it equals to the Great Mayan calendar of 25,920 in time. It's just ironic how it all seems to work out, even the threes, even the artwork, even Mars and Earth coming together, even to the payouts, equalizing these two numbers in blackjack. This is the payout. And now they're bringing the payout in blackjack to 6 to 5. Also to note that in these numbers here, that 8 and 6, when you lay down 6 pieces on the crap table, they will give you 7 pieces for 6. When you bet on 5 and 9, or on the outside, what is 4 and 10, you're going to get 2 to 1. This is where your J comes in and your DJ comes in. Your 4 and 1 come together. The king, the home, but everything is explained inside of this. If you didn't understand or you don't understand, do not hesitate to ask me, because we're in this together. When we solely can understand how we came to be in creation and partly maybe not why we're here, that we are just an extension of the Creator with free will to choose on our own, and to know that that we're all together, and we're being, I mean, if you want to take it from me, we're being coerced towards an area. And I think all those who can afford to support those who can't support themselves, we have to go through a very short period of time to say, whoa, that's enough. What do we need to do to stop everything, to keep on going? At what point will we start understanding and learning? Okay, because this planet is it's just totally ridiculous. We just have to just, do you know, we're the masses, and the best we can do, if you really want to change things, stay home. If you really want to change something, stay home. And for those, we're being coerced that we always have to pay the rent, we always have to put food. Well, how many people would have to stay home to stop the rotation of this planet? Would it have to be 200 million people? Let me see. I don't even know if my calculator goes that high. Let me calculate what it would cost here to make corrections. We're going to take 500 million people to stay home from work, times let's say $500 equals, no, that's not enough. We're going to take 500 million people times $500 equals to, I need $250 billion per week, or $1 trillion for 1 month. Okay, we need $1 trillion for 1 month, or those who can afford it, in order to make sure everybody is eating, paying their rent from the stinkies who won't participate with us, because all they want to do is stay in this fiat world. Do you understand where the word fiat comes from? I just showed you. When A and T come together, it's location. When I and F comes together, it's rotation. I and F comes together, 9 and 6. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. So it totals 15. It is the Mars continuous, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. The orange we see for the pylons, the orange you see, it represents Pluto. The dog Pluto, the 9th planet. Have you ever thought of, I mean, I'm not going to get onto M&M, Mickey Mouse, or DD, Donald Duck, and Abraham. I mean, if you really want to go back, Abraham had 2 children. The basis of the 2 children, I think it was Ishmael and the other one. And they were both of the Islamic or Palestinian and Israeli state, I and P, pi. So it's them, those two, that divides everything up. And now we're coming right back to the beginning. Even like I said in Monopoly, the Mediterranean is the dividing gate. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2. It takes 41 to go around the board and come back, knowing that in Monopoly, the minimum roll you can have is 3. And where do you end up? I think it's the income tax. And the reason for that is because 1 and 1 is a double and you roll again, right? But I think the minimum number to is, yeah, it's 3. Or do you end up on Baltic and 2 is the income tax? That's your 11. 1 and 1 is actually 6 and 6. I think we're going to end it here. Thank you, Mr. Way Far Out Dot. I can never figure out what that image is. What is your image? I can never really see it. But thank you for everybody's participation. If you can help out the channel, this would really help me. It was a horrible year last year. My total income was total pocket income. I like, it was like next to nothing. So TACPens at msn.com. You can PayPal me. It would be nice. Why is it not coming up? Oh, yeah. Okay. It wasn't coming up. Let me see if I can get it here. Yeah, if you can PayPal me, that would really be just fantastic. There's still colors we didn't do. We still didn't finish off with verbs and adverbs and conjunctions, participles, anything to do with the language. We haven't even created the letters. How many cells of quadrille paper do we need to create the letters? Why hockey? Hockey is 3 periods. Quarters is 4 quarters, whether we run with 12 minutes. 12 minutes, 4 times 12 is 48, but it's not 60. So we need 1.25. 48 times 1.48 times 1.25 in order to create 60. 48 times 1.25 in order to create the 60 seconds on the clock. And then we would be going down into basketball where the foul, right, or location 6 and the foul, the word foul will get you the 1-point shot. Usually it'll get you, if you scored the basket, you get 2 points with 1 throw. But if you miss the basket, you only get 2 throws. You'll either get 1 point or 2 points. In bowling, we start off in the 10th frame in what I do, and we go backwards. So we start off with a turkey, 3 strikes, unless you want to start off with the spare, which is 1 strike, and then the spare. We can also do the spare and then the strike, but then we would be starting off with 20, striking a match. And then we would go down into the game of bowling to understand the scoring, to understand the penalties in hockey, to understand the formation of 16 and 16. We'll do this for you, and we'll do this for you, just this last one here. And don't forget, we went 7 this way, 7 this way, 7 this way, 7 this way, 28, cycle of the moon. 28 by 6 equals 168, call it the Mars way. 24 by 7, call it the Earth way, equals 168, the dividing gate of the one spirit. But when we go 16 and 16 and they combat each other, we end up with 8 and 8. And they combat each other, we end up with 4 and 4. This is where the division of night and day, this is where bronze comes in. This is the beginning of your divided gate. Then when these two play each other, you end up with 2 and 2. And these two play each other, you end up with 1 and 1. And then this one is the gold. This one is the gold. Here, right, this one is the gold and the silver. This one over here is the bronze. And this one over here is runner-up. Number 44 is runner-up, division of the night and day. 4 times 4 equals to 16. 4 plus 4 equals to 0. 8 equals to 24. This will create 6 and 8, and that what divides the 7th gate of 7 and 6. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. Well, sorry, 6, 7, and 8. Divide your cube gate, because in between these two is 7, right? Your gold and silver comes together because when you go into the playoffs, right, and it's the last 2 teams, one gets the gold, one gets the silver. That means whoever played these two over here that went into what you call the finals, to those who got the bronze were in the semi-finals. To those who got the divided day were in the quarter finals. This one meaning to what is half, this one meaning to what is quarter, right? And then this one over here would be the runner-up of 88. And this here is how it all begins. 16 versus 16. Now on a chessboard, right? On a chessboard, if you want to go to chess, it's 8 by 8. Right? And then over here and over here, you have the king and the queen, if I get it right. And anyways, I'm not going to get into the chessboard right now, but the chessboard is 4 by 2. And then over here, it's 8 by 4. Sorry, it's 8 by 2. Here is 8 by 4. Here's 8 by 2. Right? 1, 3, 1. And I'm going to get into that about the moon cycles, etc. 1, 3, 1, what that does. I'm a little bit tired. I much appreciate that you're here. If you can help out the channel, that would help hugely. If you want to understand, don't hesitate to to shout out, send me an email. I'll be glad if you want to talk to me on the phone. I'm not too sure about that right now. It's not easy, to just give out your phone number like that, although I'm quite sure it's easy to be found. Just write me an email. Maybe we can text somehow. I have WhatsApp. And it's easier when I come on here live. Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, there's just so many intricate things that if you really believe and understand that we are the extension of the Creator, hallelujah, just hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? And the ring and the pole is something that we didn't do, that this cube is 21, right? I wanted to base it one more time on this. The cycle of the moon is 28. How can we get this one cube to equal to 28 when there's only 21 dots, right? There's only 21 dots. We have to reach 28. Well, the pole means two sides, right? So this is my pole, and my ring sits on my pole. That means there's 14 to the ring, and there is 0.7 to the pole when you're talking about dots. Otherwise, it's 36 to the ring, right? And it's 18 to the pole. The number of areas here is the same thing here. This total cube has 21 dots and 33 voided spaces, right? To where there are 22 areas, the same thing as property, on here that will never have any numbers on it. Here, 2, 4, 6, 8 never has any numbers unless you're on number 6. When you see this, because the dot can penetrate this and go all the way through, you can look at this and put a dot here, and then you'll be looking at the I. Or you can put it this way, and you'll be looking at the H, or you can be looking at the Z. You can also, be looking at the end, and you'll just say Heinz, and the total here is Heinz 57, male and female, 12 and 13, the king and the queen. This, you're going to go 7 and 14, cube is done. 7 to the pole, 14. Or you can start off at 14 and 7. You can start off any way you want. This equals to 21. This equals to 21. But on cube number 2, this is cube number 1. On cube number 2, you must start with the 7. You must start on cube 2 with the pole, because it's going to equal to 28. And your leftover is you're going to have to end with the ring. Around here is 14. 2, 4, 5, 3. 2, 4, 5, 3. So you end with 14. Now on the next cube, on the third cube, right, this is the end of cube number 2. Cube number 1 went 14 and 7, right? 14 and 7. And then the next one started with 7 and ended with 14. So now you have 2 cubes done, right? Up to this point over here, is 28. Now you're going to go with 14, and you're going to start the next cube off with 14. You start the next cube off with 14. So you start, right? And then you're going to end with 7. Now the next cube is 21. So you're going to do it any which way you want. So the first cube and the last cube, you're going to do whatever you want, and you're going to end up with a total of 84. And it took 4 cubes times 21 equal to 84. And the 84 is going to be 3 by 28, equaling to the 3 moon cycle, equaling to 84 and 3 moons, or 1/4, of the moons in a year. 4 by 3 is 12, leaving over 1 more moon to come. So we're going to end it at this. I appreciate you being here. There's so many and many more things that have to be done. Q, standing on Q, remember, because A and B is the beginning of everything. It is to stand, is when the 2 teams end up in the finals. One becomes a bronze, one becomes a silver, the other becomes the gold. The 2 teams before that, they both become bronze. There are 2 bronzes to 1 silver and 1 gold. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Be nice to gather everybody together wherever we are, sit down, get some really, really good music, and get into the vibration. Let's celebrate. We have the answer to our creation. All we have to do is put down our arms. Arm, Mars, arms, ace, race. We have to put down our arms. We have to put down our arms. We have to just stop and say no. We can't be scared because the end result is we're always going to be on the edge. We're always going to be on the edge. As long as somebody's always telling you what to do, you will always be on the edge, and things will always be out of sync. We must work together, and it will take $1 trillion in this world, whether it's in your pocket now or not, to stay home and do not move. Just get groceries, pick them up, and stay home. Be safe. Everything ends. We're in for a new beginning, and until people see, perhaps this won't happen. What I'm saying, just like I'm going to end it here. Just that's it. So if you can help out the channel, just that would be insane. I mean, I'm crying right now. My fridge is not working, and I can really use the help right now. It'd be really fantastic. I really never come out here and talk like this, but times are crucial, and peace and love. I think I spoke too much. I must be drunk or something. Drunk with spirit. Thank you.